A registered apprenticeship is a formal, structured training program recognized by the United States Department of Labor or a state apprenticeship program. It combines on-the-job training with related classroom instruction, allowing participants to earn wages while learning specialized skills in a specific industry. Registered apprenticeships are used across various fields, from traditional trades like construction and manufacturing to high-growth sectors like healthcare, information technology, and finance. There are many misconceptions about registered apprenticeship. One common misconception is that they don't lead to high earnings. In reality, apprentices often earn wages while learning and see increased earnings after completing the program. Many apprenticeships lead to high-paying, in-demand roles with clear pathways for advancement. Registered apprenticeships can profoundly impact an individual's life by opening up pathways to stable, fulfilling careers and personal growth. Raising awareness about registered apprenticeship, especially during the 10th Annual National Apprenticeship Week, is crucial because apprenticeships offer accessible, high-quality pathways to stable and meaningful careers. For many career seekers, apprenticeships are still an underutilized option due to misconceptions about their value and accessibility. But their earn while you learn model can be life-changing. Well, good morning. I hope you all enjoyed that video that we just shared. I am actually having just a few issues with my screen this morning, so please forgive me, but we're going to get started. Welcome to LASPA's Virtual Apprenticeship Expo 2024. My name is Tanya Evans, and I'm the Employer Engagement Coordinator here at LASPA. I want to thank everyone for taking out the time to join us for this event. We are hosting this event in celebration of National Apprenticeship Week, which is hosted by the United States Department of Labor. This year is the NAW's 10th year anniversary, and the theme for this year is celebrating 10 years of engagement, expansion, and innovation. So I hope that you all enjoyed today's program. We definitely have a jam-packed agenda for you, so we're going to get right into it. This is our agenda. We will do our welcome, which we're in right now. We will have opening remarks by our executive director. We will have someone representing the Louisiana Workforce Commission who will welcome us in. And then we will go into our guest speaker and then straight into our employer presentations. Just a few housekeeping things really quickly. After the employers give their presentations, if you have questions, there is a Q&A button at the bottom of your screen where you can drop questions. You can also put those questions in the chat. I have Team LASPA here helping me out in the back end, and so we will have moments throughout the expo where I will ask for questions to be read. We will all stay here as opposed to last year. We went into breakout rooms, but everyone here, we're here, every employer's presentation this morning. So with that said, if we could just really quickly just kind of gauge and get some attendance, we're going to launch a poll where you get to represent your employer, your school district, or your business or industry. If you could just answer those two poll questions for us. Number one is, what school, state, agency, industry, or employer are you representing today? And then number two is, please indicate the career you are interested in. If it applies, indicate the career that you're interested in. And we'll do that for another 10, 20 seconds, I say. Give everybody an opportunity. All right. Okay. And it's still coming in. All right. Okay, we can go ahead and end the poll. All right. Thank you. We had really good participation with that. Thank you. All right. All right. Just a little information about who we are as a state agency. We are the Louisiana Office of Student Financial Assistance. We are a program of the Louisiana Board of Regents, and we strive to be Louisiana's first choice. I'm sorry. First choice for college access by promoting, preparing for, and providing equity of college access. LASFA administers the state scholarship and grant programs and the state's Internal Revenue Code Section 529 College Saving Program, the Educational Savings Plan for K through 12 tuition, and the 529 Saving Plan for eligible individuals with disabilities. And so at this time, I would like to introduce and bring forward Dr. Suwan Butte, who is our Executive Director here at the Louisiana Office of Student Financial Assistance. So good morning, Dr. Butte.
Good morning, everyone. Life is all about choices, as you know. Deciding which career path you're going to choose is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. However, getting a game plan for choosing that path, one that involves a path that meets your needs, that is right for you, is one of the smartest decisions you'll ever make. You've heard some phenomenal reasons that apprenticeship would be a great choice. We thank all of the employers, our LASFA team members, the Workforce Commission, and all of our community partners for bringing everyone together today to help you see if this is the best option for you.
Thank you, Dr. Butte. Thank you for those words. And thank you for everything that you do here at LASFA for your vision and for us to go out and serve students here in Louisiana. So next up, I would like to bring forward Ms. Sonia Williams. Ms. Sonia is with the Louisiana Workforce Commission. Ms. Williams, welcome and good morning.
So glad to be able to participate today. And just like you, I'm having some trouble with my computer. So hold on one sec. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. Won't let me okay, there we go. All right. Again, welcome to the Louisiana Office of Student Financial Assistance Virtual Apprenticeship Expo 2024. On behalf of the Louisiana Workforce Commission and all of our apprenticeship and workforce partners, I want to thank each and every one of you for your participation in this awesome opportunity. Apprenticeship is a unique way to begin your career where you can get those hands-on training, that technical classroom instruction, and a paycheck all at the same time. And that's the important part, right? You can get paid, so you're earning while you're learning. So this is an awesome opportunity for you to explore, for you to discover, and for you to embrace opportunities when you are looking toward your career. So we hope that throughout this virtual expo today that you learn about careers, you learn about industry, and you learn how you can get connected and started on your career path. So again, I want to thank you for your participation. We wish all of you the best of success in your career choices. This is a great opportunity to discover where you need to go and what you need to go in the career path that you like to choose. And we are all here to help. Everyone here, employers, state government, federal government, our partner agencies, we are all here to help you on that pathway. So please reach out, ask a question. Don't feel shy or intimidated about doing that. Reach out and ask us. This is what we're here for. We want to help you because we're building the next generation of our workforce. And we want to make sure that you guys are connected and that you are plugged in and that you are able to be successful in your career. So thank you once again on behalf of Louisiana Workforce Commission, on behalf of our Secretary, Secretary Susan Shawin. Again, thank you again, and let's have a wonderful day today.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Williams, and welcome. I'm so glad that you guys are here to represent. So next up, We will have a brief presentation by Miss Maria Brady. She is a multi-state navigator with the United States Department of Labor, and she is going to give us some information on what is an actual registered apprenticeship and all the benefits of it. So, good morning, Miss Brady. Welcome.
Good morning, Miss Evans. It's wonderful to be here. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. Next slide, please. That's who I am, and here we go. Okay, so we are celebrating the 10th anniversary of National Apprenticeship Week, or NAW, and I'm here to talk about what is registered apprenticeship. Next slide, please. Okay, first off, before I talk about what it is, let me first start out by saying that apprenticeships get a bad rap. Okay, they have a reputation, and oftentimes I spend a lot of time doing myth busting. So let me take a moment to do that. Apprenticeships are not inconsistent with a college degree. Many of our apprentices go on to get an associate's, a bachelor's, and advanced degrees. So that is a myth. Apprenticeships are also a wonderful pathway to good middle class, very high paying jobs. It's an on ramp to the middle class. They are not an old fashioned way to get an education and a good job. I know they're pretty much as old as dirt, apprenticeships, but they work. That's the bottom line. Now, there's an important point here. When I say apprenticeship, I'm specifically talking about registered apprenticeship. And the reason I make that qualification is because everybody owns a dictionary. Next slide, please. Okay, I am not talking about Webster's Dictionary apprenticeship. You can look up apprenticeship in your dictionary, and a general definition will be there. But registered apprenticeship is governed by federal regulations, and they provide the foundation for what we do. So in terms of the difference between Webster's Dictionary apprenticeship and registered apprenticeship, we're talking about quality, safety. At the end of every registered apprenticeship program, you get a nationally recognized credential that is portable, which means that you can carry it from state to state, and it has weight. Now, you've already heard a couple of speakers mention that registered apprenticeship is an earn while you learn model. Now, basically what that means is you start earning and learning from day one. It is first and foremost a job. And you also heard someone say that it is more than the trades. Absolutely. There are more than 1,300 different occupations that are part of registered apprenticeship programs. And I'll have my website up there so you can check it out yourself. Next slide, please. So what is registered apprenticeship? Well, from different perspectives, from an employer perspective, it's a strategic approach to talent development. From the perspective of an individual, it's a strategic approach to career development. So what it is it consists of two primary components. One component is structured on the job learning, or what we call OJL, and it has mentorship. That's part of our secret sauce. Now, part of the on-the-job learning is supplemented, as you heard earlier, with what we call related educational instruction. So you have on-the-job training, and you have supplemental, often classroom education that supports it. So the related instruction supports the on-the-job learning. And as I said, remember, registered apprenticeship is a job from day one. And that's why we say earn while you learn. Every registered apprenticeship program consists of wage increases. There must be, and this is based on federal regulation, a starting wage, an ending wage, and a wage in the middle, at least. And that's even for the shortest registered apprenticeship program, which in the United States is approximately 1 year. And again, I am not talking about an internship, which is often short term and not paid. Registered apprenticeship must be paid. I'm not talking about pre-apprenticeship, which basically prepares an individual to enter and succeed in a registered apprenticeship program, and it may not even be associated with an employer. Next slide, please. Okay, as I indicated, more than 1,300 occupations are what we consider apprenticeable. And that's not a word you're going to find in your dictionary because we made it up. Registered apprenticeship is more than construction and building trades. If you go to our national website, which is at www.apprenticeship.gov, there's a wealth of information there. And I want to highlight, you know, a lot of people poo-poo the building trades. That's what I call it. In other words, no college for all. And I'm not putting down college. I'm a student of higher education. I'm a product of higher education. But the building trades offer family sustaining wages. And if you doubt that, go to an apprentice graduation, you know, let's say for an electrician, I would guarantee you that you would need a box of tissues. It's pretty amazing. These are family sustaining careers. And, you know, I say here, have you ever called a plumber on a Sunday? I mean, I have, and my gosh, I mean, I wish I made that much. So these are family sustaining careers. And I want to ask a question, and I don't know if we can put it in the chat, but what do you think the average age is for somebody working in the building trades, construction or building trades in the United States today? What is the average age? Anyone? Shout it out, put it in the chat. Can I do that, Tanya? Okay.
We're watching the chat.
Okay, well, I don't want to take up anybody's time, but it's over 40. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone? Okay, it's over 50. Okay. Seeing nobody offering, I will tell you that the average age of somebody in the building trades today in the United States is roughly 57. Now, I want you to think about that. Think about that. Think about what a travesty that is. Do you think those jobs are going overseas? Do you think folks are battling down the doors to come into this country to be an electrician or a plumber or a pipe fitter? Absolutely not. We have got to train our own. We have got to build up the skills in this country to support the infrastructure that's needed. And if I sound too emotional, it's because I get to be like a maniac on a mission about this because I see the need that's out there. Next slide, please. Okay, we are putting millions upon millions of dollars since 2014, about 10 years now. And these are your tax dollars into supporting the expansion of registered apprenticeship. And why? Because it works. Just to throw out a little statistic, the return on investment for employers, for every dollar an employer invests in registered apprenticeship, they get roughly $1.47 in return. For every dollar, every public dollar, in other words, your tax dollars that we invest in registered apprenticeship, we get roughly $28 in returns. That's amazing. Now, I have a bullet that has a $300,000 lifetime earnings differential. Let me explain. You have an individual. They got their education, their career pathway through traditional means. Same occupation, but the individual went through a registered apprenticeship program. Our research indicates that over the lifetime of the individual, The person who made their way through their career in a registered apprenticeship program will end up with $300,000 more over their lifetime. And that's, to me, I look at that like a house. And I'm not kidding about that. So, and we have registered apprenticeship program for RNs, for teachers, for principals. I mean, it's not just in the building trades, but again, the building trades are, I mean, my son is going into the building trades. I think that's awesome. Okay, and we are working with states like the state of Louisiana to expand registered apprenticeship. In fact, Louisiana just received a federal grant that started July 1st. Next slide, please. Okay, I'm very mindful of my time. I know that you're here to hear from the employers. There is my contact information. And remember, apprenticeship.gov is our national website. There are a lot of opportunities listed there. There's a lot of training materials listed there. Please check it out and thank you. Thank you for being here and thank you for supporting registered apprenticeship.
And thank you, Ms. Brady, for that wonderful presentation on what is a registered apprenticeship. We do have a couple of questions in the Q&A, and I'm going to give a few of them if you all can answer. I currently work for the state of Louisiana. Are there any opportunities for me to advance an apprenticeship? That might be kind of geared. Okay,
To
Ebony,
Miss
go ahead.
Sonia.
Yeah, to Miss Sonia. Miss Sonia, are you there? There we go.
Sorry, can you read the question one more time for
It
me?
says, she says that she is currently and works for the state of Louisiana, and she wants to know if there are any apprenticeship opportunities for her.
There's always apprenticeship opportunities. So we always want to open up that conversation. And I can say if she contacts our apprenticeship unit here at Louisiana Workforce Commission, we connect her with our navigator and they can talk to her about all things apprenticeship, what opportunities are available in our state, and just talk about her career path, what she's looking to do, what she's interested in doing, and get her started that way. So just reach out to us through our apprenticeship program, and we will connect her to all that information.
Can I also add something? Because there is now there is a federal mandate, if you will, for state agencies all across the country to basically put the money where the mouth is, to utilize registered apprenticeship for state employees. Now, some states have kind of taken a bite out of that apple. So that's something that we're working on as a country and we're moving forward with it. But as Miss Sonia said, there are a lot of opportunities.
Yes, thank you. And I will provide information on how to reach out to those state and those federal agencies in the document. If you provided your email address when you register, you will receive a resource document and you'll be able to go to those websites and visit and see what the state has available in terms of registered apprenticeship programs, as well as with the U.S. Department of Labor. Another question, and I'll just take one more. Will the apprenticeship count as experience when looking for work in my selected
Yes.
field?
Yes, it is experience. By definition, it is a job. If you're going into a registered apprenticeship, hopefully that is your field. That is the field that you want to go into, because registered apprenticeship is a commitment. It is a commitment to a specific occupation. So you may be under an incorrect assumption that it's just, as a stepping stone. It is the stone. That's the goal. That's the holy grail right there. But yes, it is considered experience. Yes, you can put it on your resume. Yes, it's real.
Yes. And here's a really good question. I said it was the last one, but this one is a good. What age group are you targeting as entering into an apprenticeship? Is there a minimum age? That's a
Yes.
really good question.
By federal regulation, the minimum age is 16. Now, for hazardous occupations, it's going to be higher, typically 18.
Okay. All right. All right, guys. And these are some really good questions. So again, I will be able to make sure that all of these questions are answered and that you do receive an answer for those questions. But we're going to move right along through our program. So right now I'm gonna launch a quiz to test your knowledge. Ms. Brady actually gave us quite a bit of information, but this particular quiz is called Two Truths and a Myth. And so we need you to identify the myth. Which statement below is a myth about registered apprenticeship? And go ahead and make your selection. And we'll do that for another 10 seconds. Okay. And okay, we're gonna go ahead and end this and share those results. And the correct answer is apprenticeships are only for high school students or unskilled individuals. So that is definitely a myth because as Ms. Brady just mentioned that individuals with college degrees also participate in registered apprenticeships, but apprenticeships can be suitable for a wide age range and can even serve as career changing opportunities for people with some college experience or degrees. So if you're looking to do a career change, because sometimes that happens, apprenticeships may be registered apprenticeship may be a route for you to look into when you're thinking about making that career change. All right. So we're going to move right along and we're going to now transition into our employer presentations. First up, we have the CEO, and I hope I'm saying that right, Mr. Watson, Executive Director, Creator of the 1881 Institute, and he's going to talk to us about some pre-apprenticeship opportunities and their programs. So, Mr. Watson, I give you the floor. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Thanks so much for inviting me, and look forward to talk about our pre-apprenticeship programs at the 1881 Institute, as well as our apprenticeship programs. Next slide. So the 1881 Institute, we're just a nonprofit workforce development organization preparing underrepresented populations for careers in engineering, advanced manufacturing, and intelligent systems. So I actually have 25 years of engineering experience and realized that there were multiple pathways in which people were entering into this industry. And at 1881, what we like to do is, and our goal is to capture those various pathways into these fields through apprenticeships and pre-apprenticeships. Next slide. So these are some of our workforce programs. We do a technical fellows program. That's basically, oftentimes that's someone who's looking for a career change. They may already have a post-secondary degree. So we offer this technical fellows program where they actually work with 1881 and we sponsor their tuition to get a higher level of education. We also have a registered apprenticeship program in partnership with the New Orleans Regional Transit Authority. We have a degree apprenticeship program, which is similar to our technical fellows program. But the difference between the two is normally for our degree apprentices, they're seeking an associate degree. We also have an internship placement program. Basically, it's more short-term, temporary work experiences. I'm actually attending a conference presently where we're looking to increase internships at NASA. So it's a NASA conference. Also, we have our pre-apprenticeship. This is where we sort of offer those foundational skills before an individual will go into either a registered apprenticeship program or some other work experience. Okay. And lastly, something that we do this is really has been the foundation for our organization. We do in-school and after-school programs. Oftentimes, this is our recruiting mechanism for our pre-apprenticeship programs. Next slide. So here, I wanted to highlight our registered apprenticeship program, which is our mechanical engineering technician apprenticeship. This is the one I spoke of earlier that's in partnership with the New Orleans Regional Transit Authority. RTA, that we call them, acts as the employer. 1881 is the training provider. Some of the things that we do are machining, welding, computer-aided design, woodworking. RTA, as some may or may not know, most of the streetcars are aging. So RTA actually builds and fabricates their own custom parts for these streetcars, which they were looking to, they have an aging workforce, and they were actually looking to bring in some new talent to replace the aging workforce. So they approached us about partnering into and forming this apprenticeship program. So it's been successful. We're looking to bring more people into this apprenticeship program. Yeah, and that's it about that one. Next slide. This is our program that we started in partnership with Delgado. We actually worked with Delgado to get a NASA grant. And through this grant, we were able to get interns placed at various NASA facilities. We had some placed at the Goddard Space Flight Center, NASA Marshall Space Flight Center, Glenn Research Center. And these are some of the projects that they worked on. To me, this was very rewarding just because, one, if you know NASA usually prioritizes higher education. So those who may be getting a 4-year degree, master's, right? And what we've been looking to do, and one of the reasons why I'm at this conference, is that trying to get NASA to reprioritize those who may be seeking an associate degree, who may be just getting a skilled trade. How can they enter into these NASA opportunities? So as you can see, my daughter is actually in the lower right corner, and she was actually able to participate in this as well. Next slide. We actually are doing a pilot apprenticeship program with Entergy for a substation relay technician and distribution design apprentice. So this is a pilot program that we're running over 3 semesters. We have 5 individuals who are currently participating in this. We're hoping that it will expand. Based on the success of this, there's the potential that we may expand to North Louisiana. So we're hoping that this one goes well. Okay. Some of the things that individuals learn in this program, basically utility systems, pole analysis, distribution systems, also some computer-aided design as well. Next slide. So we're actually Nunez Community College. They have an aerospace manufacturing program. So we talked with them. We've been in talks with them to do a pilot pre-apprenticeship program, basically that will focus on machining, and it'll be part of their aerospace program. This will actually start in January of 2025. This is in a pre-apprenticeship program. It'll also be a paid work experience. So individuals will actually be getting certifications through NIMS, which is the National Institute of Machining Standards, and will be paid as they go through this pilot program. Next slide.
Are you ready to help humanity travel to the moon? Are you ready to help humanity explore Mars? Are you ready to be a part?
So we have our degree apprenticeship and our technical fellows program. These are some of the institutions in which some of these participants are attending. We have some at Delgado, Nunez. We have a couple at Southeastern, and we have one at UNO. So this is also an Earn as You Learn program. Folks are paid to work at 1881. 1881 then sponsors the tuition of those seeking either an associate degree, it can be a bachelor's degree, or even a master's degree. We actually have one who's getting a master's at Georgia Tech. Next slide. Lastly, I wanted to end with this. I believe this is my last slide, but these are some of the middle schools and high schools that we partner with. Like I said, this is sort of our recruitment mechanism, actually to see how we can funnel individuals into our pre-apprenticeship program. And then from there, from our pre-apprenticeship, we route them into various apprenticeship or other programs within the 1881. This is basically it. So you'll see we're in Mississippi, Georgia, part of Slidell. Let's see, even in Lafayette, we've been running some programs there. So I believe this is the last slide. You can go to the next one. Let's see, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so this is the contact information. You can go to our website, or you can email me if you have any interest. You can go to our website. If you go to our website and take a look at our annual reports, you can sort of get a feel for the individuals who've been a part of our program, kind of the things that they're doing. Maybe there's some answers you can get, some questions you can get answered that I wasn't able to touch on during this presentation. But that's it. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Mr. Watson, for joining us. I know that you're over there at NASA and you're going to give an amazing presentation today. I do have one quick question for you from the question and answers. Is there an age limit on older people looking for apprenticeship opportunities? And this is directly for you, those looking for second career opportunities, maybe.
No, we don't have an age limit. Our target range is 16 to 24, but we've had some who come in that may be older. Some people have come in looking for a career change. And obviously, if you're looking for a career change, then you most likely have some experience in your first career. So sometimes they're older than that. So no, we don't have any age limits.
All right. And do you all work with any unions, I believe is what another question is.
No, we haven't worked with any unions. Not to date, no.
Okay. And an employer is asking, how can we become a partner with your company?
Please send me an email. You can email me, and I'll definitely respond.
All right. Well, thank you so very much. I will let you get back to your conference, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Everyone will have an opportunity to receive the information for the 1881 Institute in the resource document that you will receive at the end of the event. All right. Thank you, Mr. Watson.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. So next up, guys, we have BASF North America. We have Mr. Dan Smeckler-Cheeseman. He is with the North American Apprenticeship Program Manager at BASF. And we want to welcome him on. Mr. Smeckler, how are you?
I am good. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you. All right.
And that's a whole big bio about me, not necessary, but again, I'm Dan Smelker-Cheeseman. I am the Apprenticeship Program Manager for all of North America for BASF Corporation. For those of you who are not familiar with who we are a German multinational company, chemical company specifically. We've been around just for a few years, since 1865. So we have a long, certainly long history in the chemical industry, right? Starting with dye manufacturing and working our way up to, pretty much everything that you put your hands on over the course of your day. You'll see our products in everything from the soles of your shoes to the paint for your cars. and a variety of other products, right? So, BASF has been growing and continues to grow over the years. We do have 239 manufacturing sites throughout the world. So here in the United States and Canada, we have about 100 of those sites that are available to us to apprentice at, right? And so we have been making very big strides where that's concerned. And Louisiana is one of those locations at our Geismar, Louisiana site, where we've started to introduce apprenticeship programs. So if we go to the next slide, what you'll see is that in 2021, we really stepped into the apprenticeship world. It was our first attempt outside of Europe, where they had been doing apprenticeship programs for quite some time. So we decided to introduce that first in the United States. And our intention is really, much like probably many other employers, as Maria mentioned, the average craft age is 50 or more. And so we recognize that we have an aging workforce and that we lack a lot of access to experienced individuals who are capable of running our chemical plants throughout the country. So what we wanted to do was introduce apprenticeship programs to attract a diverse workforce, primarily at this point in technician roles. And so what those roles may look like is anything from an operator to mechanical maintenance, to instrumentation, even up to wastewater treatment folks that you might see in our apprenticeship programs at the various sites that we have. So we wanted to make sure that you had an opportunity to join the chemical industry, where, in the past there may have been barriers to doing so, whether it's educational or experience or things of that nature. So what we wanted to really do was create an entry point for people who would maybe not select the chemical industry, given the fact that they assume that it takes lots of experience in order to be there. So the apprenticeship programs offer a huge variety of opportunities for individuals who do join us. We do hire each and every one of our apprentices as a full-time employee. You will receive anywhere from a year to 3 years of on-the-job training, depending upon the position that you get into with us, right? So an operations technician, depending on the site, there in Louisiana, might take you about 2 years to complete your apprenticeship program, where mechanical maintenance might take about 3 to do that, right? So again, you get industry recognized credentials from the Department of Labor. All our apprenticeship programs are registered with the Department of Labor. And we want to make sure that you're getting that acknowledgement from them as well. As well as we generally couple our apprenticeships OJT portions with some related technical instruction. And what happens there is, depending again on the location and depending upon the position that the apprentice is in, it may be everything from a basic certificate of completion all the way through an associate's degree. And the beautiful part is that BASF covers the cost of all that, right? Whether you're starting a brand new degree program and you've never went to school outside of high school, or if you're currently enrolled, we look at those individuals as well, and then we help pay for any of the remaining portion of your college experience. So we're trying to make sure that we're removing barriers and creating an opportunity for people to come in and join us. Given the fact that you're hired as a full-time employee, it gives you immediate access to benefits. That's medical, dental, vacation, 401k, all of that fun stuff is part of our benefits package that BASF offers. And of course, there's a progressively increasing wage. What we're taking you from is a pre-entry level individual, and then providing you with all the education and all the training that's necessary to move you to an entry level individual. So again, I can't stress enough that, you know, what we're doing is trying to make sure that we're apprenticing folks according to their interests, making sure that you have opportunities, then you're fully supported throughout the apprenticeship program. Right now at our Geismar, Louisiana site, we are offering apprenticeships in production operations. So those are really basic operations roles, but we are in the process of planning and registering additional roles with that. So what that looks like is instrumentation and electrical technicians, laboratory technicians, all of those positions start to come in. And if you go to the next slide, um, you know, it's an eye chart, but it gives you a little bit of an idea of what you might see or expect um, in one of the roles that you'll see. And so this information is available to you at our BASF landing page. So, you know, what it gives you an opportunity to really kind of go in and look a little deeper as what does a process tech operations technician do? What does that really mean to have a day in the life of a person who works in a chemical manufacturing plant? How do you know that that's going to be good for you? So we've got some places where you can gain some additional knowledge about those particular roles, and then the opportunity from that landing page to go off and apply for those apprenticeship programs. They are offered at various points throughout the year. It's not a set kind of cadence, but we do generally line up with the college entrance dates for each of their semesters. So you'll see apprenticeship programs for the Geismar site come available, you know, as we get ready to move into the spring college semester, summer and fall as well. So it's really kind of important to monitor our website to see when we are actively hiring for these. And so, you know, in addition to the technician roles that you see here on the screen, we're also working on and getting ready to hopefully launch sometime next year. And an apprenticeship program for engineers, right? So those folks will have spent many years learning how to be an engineer in college and still sometimes lack the general knowledge of on-the-job activities. So we felt that it was a great opportunity for us to further develop engineers as well and make them better at the things that they do. So we are always expanding. Again, if I hadn't mentioned, we have 11 apprenticeship roles currently, and adding to those as we continue to move along. So I encourage you to come and check out our opportunities. And I think really, I don't know that I had 10 minutes worth of stuff, but the next page is really an opportunity for you to scan a QR code and then go to the BASF North American Apprenticeship Development Program to learn more about not only BASF but the opportunities that we have available to you. I know that we're specifically addressing things in Louisiana, but it's important to remember that BASF has I have 30 manufacturing sites in the United States that offer apprenticeship programs in those 11 different roles. They are stationed in 12 different states throughout the country. And we're growing each year. I do have additional sites in Louisiana that we're looking at implementing apprenticeship programs. So we hope to expand in the not too distant future from the Geismar site to other sites that we have. So monitor our website, see what appeals to you, and feel free to put in an application and see if you can come join us.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for that information. We do have a few questions for you. Is there an age requirement for BASF for the apprenticeship?
Yes, due to the nature of our business, we do require that you be at least 18 years old on your start date. You know, so if we started you on August 1st and that's your birthday, happy birthday, happy apprenticeship.
And also, we have another question. I'm enrolled in the process tech at BRCC, which is Baton Rouge Community College. I am extremely excited about this. How early do you take new people into the program at BASF?
It depends, right? It depends on the candidate and the selection process. But we will take people who are not enrolled and then enroll them. We will take people who are in their last semester or have recently graduated. We're interested in all of that. We know that, while you had a college degree and that wonderful college experience, it lacks the OJT piece. So we're looking to give you an opportunity through the apprenticeship program to gain the on-the-job training that you need.
Perfect. Thank you so much for this presentation. Lots of good information. So we will also provide the link to apply to BASF, as well as this flyer. In the resource document, I did drop the link to the BASF.us/apprentice website for you to go and find out some additional information on their programs. And we thank you for taking the time out to come and present to our students here in Louisiana. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All right. Next up, guys, we have one of our returning employers, Apprenti. They have apprenticeship programs in information technology. So right now, I'd like to bring forth Ms. Deidre Brooks. Ms. Brooks, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for being here. We will jump right in. So next slide, please. So as you know, you can drop any questions in the chat as we go along. Most questions will be answered throughout the process, but if you do have any questions, feel free to put them there. And please feel free to take any screenshots if you need to reference back any of this information at a later time. Next slide. So really quickly, I am Deidre Brooks. I'm the strategic sourcing manager here, and my role is to connect with organizations like LOSFA to introduce this amazing program to their program participants. We are the first IT-focused intermediary with the Department of Labor, and we currently have 15 IT-focused occupations that we are able to hire for. So I'm excited to tell you a little bit more about that. So our agenda, we're going to kind of frame our discussion around, go back one for me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. So we're just going to frame the discussion around the need for registered apprenticeship, what a registered apprenticeship actually is, even though Ms. Brady did a great job of covering that. And then we'll talk about what our application process looks like. And then hopefully towards the end, we'll have a few minutes for Q&A. Next slide. So if you're here, you know that there is, a shortage of skills as it relates to IT. So the U.S. had an estimated 9.6 million IT jobs last year, and it's projected to grow to 9.9 million by the end of this year. So there have been 175,000 new tech roles created already this year. And again, that's growing exponentially. So basically, there aren't enough qualified candidates to fill these roles. Next slide for me. In addition to just the sheer number of jobs that are being created, there are other challenges that the IT sector faces as well. So one of those is actually a lack of diverse representation. And we know that both women and people of color are underrepresented in tech roles today. And so we look at how hiring managers are actually trained to recruit for these roles. They're trained to focus specifically on candidates out of college. They aren't necessarily trained to identify candidates who may not have the educational background, but they have the competency-based skills required to be successful in that role. So for that reason, companies look to Apprenti to train and screen for competency. And we'll talk a little bit about what that looks like as it relates to apprenticeships. Next slide for me. So we created a solution for that. We've created a new pathway into careers in tech, regardless of an educational background, regardless of any prior technical experience. So again, for this role or these roles, you do not need any prior technical experience. You don't need any prior specific education. We'll teach you everything that you need to know for this particular program. So we created these opportunities, and it combines both the education piece and the paid on the job training piece. And this is for mid-tier to high demand tech tech roles. And our operation is, the program operates nationally. So we have opportunities all across the country at different times for people to be placed into these different roles. Next slide for me. And so we'll talk a little bit about what registered apprenticeship is. And so the core elements, and we'll just kind of briefly touch that again. There's the classroom training, which is typically done virtually. For us, we call it related technical instruction. And that could be anywhere from 7 to 15 weeks, depending on what the occupation is. And again, that's done virtually. Then we do what we call our on-the-job training. We transition into that work-based learning, and that is going to be 365 days, and that's going to be on-site. And the apprentice will actually be getting mentorship and supervision from someone who's actually more experienced in that role, and they'll be learning on the job. So during this job training, the apprentice is actually getting paid. We don't believe in unpaid work, and you'll be actually learning. So you're being paid to learn a new skill. And so to wrap things up with this, the apprenticeship, you would actually receive a portable credential. I think someone mentioned that earlier. So this is something that you can take with you when you go other places. So you could take it and say, I completed my software analyst apprenticeship, and now I'm skilled in these specific areas. So it is very similar to a college degree. Next slide. And just to kind of outline the process. So you've heard about apprenticeship opportunities. Apprentice is a little bit different. We are a registered apprenticeship, and you guys have heard what that means is that we are held to a really, really high standard. We fall under the direct supervision of both the state and federal labor departments, and it means that this program, again, is heavily and closely monitored to make sure that we meet very specific criteria. And as a registered apprentice, anyone in the program, the apprenticeship program and the curriculum is going to be a work experience that is approved by the U.S. Department, the U.S. Registered Apprenticeship System. And again, a really, really high standard of training and quality to meet and be a part of this program. Next slide. And so we'll talk about what that process looks like. So the journey is going to go a little bit like this. So both from the apprentice side, that's going to be shown in red, and then the employer side, that's illustrated in blue for you. So the very first step is the application and screening process. So the application process has to be completed in the screening process. So the applicant would actually interview once they've completed the application and screening part. They're going to interview with the employer and with Apprenting. You would then move on into that technical training once you're selected for the role. And while the employer is doing that, they'll be looking and providing mentors to match up with each of the apprentices so that they can receive that mentorship and training as they go throughout the process. From there, the apprentice is hired onto the team, and they start that on-the-job training. So the employer initiates the work plan at that point. And so the apprentice is going to be both meeting with apprentice as well as the mentor, and they will be meeting with the apprentice as well to ensure that they are meeting certain guidelines and that they're meeting certain milestones as they go throughout the process. And so our hope and our goal is at the end of the apprenticeship, they'd be actually retained by that employer and stay on with that employer. And we have a really, really great retention rate. 89% of our apprentices are actually retained by the employer once they complete the apprenticeship program. Next slide. And next slide. Okay, so the actual application process. So here are the steps. First, you will need to register, and you will register through the unique URL, and I will drop that in the chat towards the end, and it might also be referenced in some guides later for you. But you can use the unique URL so that we'll know where you're coming from. You'll create your profile. You'll take the assessment. I do want to stress that you have to complete the assessment in order to be considered eligible for this opportunity. The assessment is going to test a few things, and we'll talk a little bit about that in just a second. So the registration process, again, is not complete until that step is finished. So once you've done that, you will be interviewed by apprentice team, and we're just looking for just a few skills, just to make sure that you understand what the process is and that this is an apprenticeship program. And then from there, if you are selected, you will be interviewed by that actual employer. I mentioned that there is no technical experience required, no specific education level as far as any prior technical training. 18 years old, eligible to work in the U.S. for the duration of the apprenticeship, and you'll need a high school diploma or GED. That is it as far as the requirements for our program. Next slide. Okay, and as I mentioned, the apprenticeship, this isn't a career exploration program. We aren't someone that trains you and just gives you this new great skill set that you can use, but you don't have an opportunity. We only place individuals when we have an actual opportunity for them to go into. So on our website, if you're kind of confused about what occupation you're interested in, on our website, you can find the occupations that we currently have standards for. You can review those and you can see all of the standards, and you can even go into the landing page and you'll see that there's a basic description with just a general length of training and what might be covered in each of those technical trainings, or even the certifications that you might receive over the course of that apprenticeship. And so if you do go to the page and you really still aren't really sure of what that is, you can actually go a little bit further. Next page for me. You can click on that Learn More button, and then it will go to the secondary page. And that's going to lay out a little bit more information about each of the occupations and give you just a little bit more detailed about what's covered. So I do encourage you, if this information isn't enough for you, definitely just Google a day in the life of a software developer to give yourself a little bit more information about what that position might look like and if it's actually a fit for you. Next page. Alrighty, we talked a little bit about the assessment. So just to give you an idea of what that assessment is going to cover, it's going to cover 3 parts. So we're looking at some math, think maybe 8th grade algebra, some logic and critical thinking, some soft skills or emotional intelligence. And we do offer some amazing resources that are on our website that can kind of assist you as you prepare for that assessment. Each applicant does have 4 attempts to complete the assessment at 80% or above. Once you receive that 80%, you are eligible for consideration. So that is the important part. Complete that assessment so that you will be eligible in our pool and eligible for consideration. Next slide. And next slide. Alrighty, so as far as the ROI, the return on the individual, so 28% of individuals were either unemployed or underemployed prior to joining our program. Apprentices have often more than doubled their income in 1 year. And again, they do receive that portable credential at the completion of the apprenticeship. And as I mentioned previously, we've designed our program so that our employers and our apprentices actually want to continue to work together after their apprenticeship is done. And we know, sometimes that doesn't necessarily work as far as a fit. Sometimes people relocate and, want to do other things. We are training people and providing that skill so that you can use that anywhere that you go. So it isn't just the Amazon way of software development. You are trained in the industry way so that you can use the knowledge that you've gained and market yourself anywhere with that training. And so I've included some different pathways to apprenticeship. So I want you to just understand, regardless of what your prior experience was, what your prior career was, this is an opportunity for you to make a way into IT. It is a true pathway. I always tell people about the gentleman that we had that was a shift leader at Burger King. He went from doing shift lead at Burger King to making 6 figures in IT. And it was due to this program and the pathway that was created through it. Next slide. And this again just shows, just some more of the impact. The median salary prior to apprenticeship was about $42,000. And then during the apprenticeship is about $67,000. And then the median retained salary for the apprentices would be about $85,000. So it's a really, really meaningful impact to the earning potential of individuals who kind of go through this program. And just to, put the cherry on top, this particular program, you are a benefited employee as you go through this program. So in addition to the salary, you are a benefited employee of that organization. Next slide. And here are just a few of our partners that we work very closely with. We have others that are not mentioned. It's growing day by day. And again, we're a national organization, so it does change from day to day. Please know if you go onto the site and you do create a profile, you complete the assessment and you're in the pool, I don't want you to worry about calling or, going back onto the site to check and see if we have anything available. When you take the assessment, we have an amazing team that is actually going to go in and reach out to you proactively if we have an opportunity in your area. Since we are employer-based, things aren't always available immediately. However, if you keep your profile updated to let us know your region and where you're open to working, we'll be able to reach out to you without you having to check back. So that's just a quick note there, just to manage expectations. All right, next slide. And lastly, I'll mention we have a phenomenal accommodations team. So that team specializes in supporting individuals with disabilities as they make their way through the program. And we know that, people require different accommodations depending on their environment or circumstances. And we do aim to make our program inclusive and accessible and welcoming to all. So if you think you might benefit from any particular accommodation, say maybe for an interview, you can reach out to the accommodations team via this email or this phone, and they will be more than happy to assist you. All righty. Next slide. Here we go. Fun part, Q&A. Any questions?
I do believe everyone is asking for the URL.
And I have that.
That's the biggest question. And I don't see anything specific for you, Ms. Brooks. Yeah, I think, do you have anyone to do presentations at high schools?
I would be the person to do that.
Okay. And we will provide that information. We will provide that URL and that contact information to everyone. Again, if we have your email address, I will absolutely be sending the recording as well as the resource document, so that you all can reach out to the employers and ask those very specific questions about applying.
See a few questions in the chat. Someone asked about the assessment. So yes, in order to be considered eligible, you would need to complete the assessment first. Once you've completed the assessment, you are in the pool. And again, just to manage expectations, it could be 6 weeks, it could be 6 months, it could be a year, because we are employer-based. But the important thing is to get in the pool, because if you're in that pool, you don't have to worry about checking back to see if we have any open opportunities. We will reach out to you. If you say, hey, I am in Atlanta and I'm interested in software developer positions, when we have that opportunity, if you are in the pool, we will reach out to you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Brooks, for your information. As always, we will drop that information, that link in the chat again really quickly, and so that you can capture it, but we will also provide it later. So we're going to go ahead and move forward because we have a couple of more presentations. So next up, we have Oxnard Health System. Everyone knows Oxnard. We have Ms. Edwina Odom here with us. She's the Senior Talent Management Consultant with Oxnard. And we welcome you to our Apprenticeship Expo again, Ms. Odom. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. Can everyone hear me? Okay,
Yes.
perfect. You can go ahead and skip to the next slide. So what I want to do is I'm going to be speaking on behalf of my entire talent management department, just to give you guys a brief overview of what we actually do in workforce development / talent management / emerging talent. And I will go over some different opportunities that we offer for high school students as well as adults. So workforce development is part of a larger HR team called Talent and Learning. On the talent side of that team, there are many programs designed to attract and develop individuals from outside of Oshner, as well as programs designed to grow people who are already at Oshner. We call this outside in, inside up talent management. Today, we are focused on the workforce development programs that we offer. So what does workforce development mean? You can go to the next slide. I'm sorry, give me 1 second. I'm trying to look at my slides and yours. So what is Ochsner's workforce development? It basically provides early career pathways into lifelong healthcare careers via non-credit credentials or associate degree credited programs. It diversifies the healthcare workforce to improve health outcomes. It removes barriers to education, especially financial costs of tuition, fees, and time out of the workforce. And it also upskills individuals with the goal of earning living wages. Go to the next slide. Okay, so this is just a year in review of some great things that we've accomplished in our workforce development department. It's basically a snapshot of our programs by the numbers. So if you look at the year in review, we had 612 people enrolled in programs. And it just gives you a breakout of how well we did. We had 10 MAs to practical nurse apprenticeships graduated on the North Shore. We had 19 Oshner Rush First Workforce Development Program certified team members as CCMAs and CMAs. We had 89 who received financial literacy training, and just another variety of different things that we have going on. Okay, can you go to the next slide? Okay, so here's some of the accomplishments that we like to show. We don't just actually put them in a program and just say, get in the program and just do what you need to do. We also celebrate them to let them know that we are so proud of the things that they accomplish. We had a grand opening for our Oshner Main Campus Career Center. We had high school pre-apprenticeship signing day at one of our career centers, New Orleans Career Center. We had a high school pre-apprenticeship info session also at Career for New Orleans Career Center students. We had a medical assistant graduation, and we also had our practical nursing pinning ceremony at Delgado. So workforce development and career services exist to help people outside of the organization, as well as our incumbent team members to get their credentials and our skills that they need to move into new roles. We do focus on the numbers and processes to get people into our programs, but the part of the workforce development program is the celebration. We celebrate the beginning of the program, apprentice hire and orientation dates. As you can see from the pictures here, we also celebrate the accomplishments made by our participants. It has taken many people to make this impact, including people who were doing the work in addition to full-time roles. The team was actually formed in 2018, and today we have a small but mighty team. If you can go to the next slide, it basically just shows a picture of our annual participants from 2016 to 2022. If you go to the next slide, it basically shows our team. We actually have another team member who joined a week ago. So we will be updating the slide. So as our programs grow, then our team is going to grow. You can go to the next slide. So here are a few of our programs that we have. Now, these programs are mostly for our adult learners. So some of the existing programs we have is Impact Personability. We have a CNA and PCT program. We have a medical assistant, pharmacy tech, LPN, community health worker, surge tech, sterile processing tech, and healthcare facilities. So we have programs in development. We have a MLA to MLT, respiratory therapy, radiology, and RN. As you can see, there are a wide variety of programs that we run, but they are not all available every year in every region. And the need is great. We developed a new program to provide support when we don't have a cohort program running. So we have this program called Amplify, and this program will help people basically amplify their impact while amplifying their careers. So if you want to go to the next slide. So what is Oshner Amplify? Oshner Amplify is a partnership between Career Center and Workforce Development to help Oshner employees continue their career learning journey when we don't have workforce development training programs available. with Amplify, we can provide individualized coaching and educational pathways. So basically, this is for anyone who already has a job at Ochsner and they want to build their career. If you have someone that's a CNA who may want to go into a medical assistant program or nursing program or any other type of program that we have at Ochsner, we normally direct them to our career center where our team will help them look at their resume to see what can be changed. They also help them with interviewing skills. So this is a good opportunity for Ochsner employees who are already employed, but we also are looking at ways to get individuals who are not employed by Ochsner who's interested in a position to meet with our career coaches as well. You can go to the next slide. So this is just basically a roadmap. It basically tells you how things work. Attend a talent talk. Like if you want to participate in one of our programs, you're interested in becoming a CNA or an MA, you basically attend a talent talk, which provides different information on the actual program. It lets you know when the application starts. It lets you know any additional information you need to know about the program. Then you're going to submit an application. There's a pre-screening interview that has to be done. Um, and then basically what the program offers, your training begins, and then your transfer to journeyman role begins. If you want to go to the next slide. So for our workforce partners, we basically collaborate with the entire Ochsner facility. It's not just workforce development that builds out these programs. We work with a variety of people. We work with department leaders, our talent acquisition team, training providers. We work with our HR Center of Excellence, marketing, communication, a big variety of people because it takes a village to be able to build these different pathways for our employees and potential employees. If you want to go ahead and skip the next two slides, because what I do want to focus on is our nursing pre-apprenticeship program, because I know that we do have some high school students. You can go to the next slide. I know that we have some high school students that's on the call and who may be interested in our nursing pre-apprenticeship program and some other opportunities that we have. So for our nursing pre-apprenticeship program, this is a nurse training program in which students will be involved in career exploration, essential business skills, group projects, and summer internships. The students will enroll in dual enrollment prerequisites at a state accredited college or university. Upon high school graduation, the students will have the choice to enroll in their region's Associated School of Nursing and be allowed to interview for transition into a paid apprenticeship. So just as someone mentioned earlier on the call, there are pre-apprenticeships, which is the nursing program, but then there's also an apprenticeship, which is a paid apprenticeship. So you're going to be actually getting paid while you're learning. And basically what happens is we go into high school starting in 10th grade. We normally give an overview of our program, and then we allow these students to do what we call career exploration. And so our education outreach team will work with our 10th graders and just give them like different areas of healthcare that they may be interested in and provide different hands-on training simulations for them. Because as you know, some high school students may not know exactly what they want to do at the moment. So being able to bring students in to give them the opportunity to see what other aspects of healthcare are available, it definitely changes a lot of students' minds. So after they do the career exploration in 10th grade, then students will be dual enrolled into the RN or PN program. So they will take those required courses through whatever community college that's in your area. And then we also provide soft skills training. In 12th grade, you will continue your dual enrollment courses to complete all of those courses. And then we will also have you sign up for financial literacy through Capital One. Post-graduation, anyone who's interested in becoming a practical nurse, then you will be able to apply for our paid apprenticeship program. And then from there, you will work for Ochsner while you're going to school. And that's pretty much how our program works. There are certain requirements that you need, like a 2.5 GPA. The program is no cost to students. You must complete a personal statement and transition into a licensed practical nurse or registered nurse program. And at the bottom of the slides, these are our current partners. We have Delgado, Nunez, Baton Rouge Community College. We have South Louisiana Community College, Louisiana Delta, Sustler, and North Shore Technical Community College. You can go to the next slide. I'm sorry, to the next one. And that's it. So we do offer student internships and job shadowing. We are opening up our job shadowing more to a bigger population. We used to only do job shadowing for students who was interested in our nursing pre-apprenticeship program. But now if you are interested in learning more about marketing, IT, nursing, patient access, you can reach out to us and say, hey, I'm interested in this healthcare field. Is it possible for me to come in and shadow one of your departments? And we will sign you up with a mentor. And then you will be able to shadow with that person for a week. And we find that a lot of students really, really enjoy doing the job shadowing. You can go to the next slide. We also work with the mayor's office in New Orleans and Acadiana Workforce Solutions in Lafayette. Um, it's a paid a paid internship program that's offered by the mayor's office. In Job 1, students normally come in for 1 week. We find placement for them at one of our facilities, and they work for 8 weeks. Oshner does not pay for the summer programs. It's funded through either the mayor's office or Acadiana Workforce Solutions. So this program is open to high school students and or college students who live in the Orleans area. And the one for Acadiana Workforce Solutions, it's open to students who live in the Lafayette area. Next slide. So another program that we are just starting to build out is we're going to have a facilities career growth pathway. So this is anyone who's interested in facilities maintenance. If you want to do general mechanic, plumbing, electrical technician, if you want to do HVAC, we are going to start this program in the spring. So if anyone's interested in any of the programs that I discussed, then you can reach out to us. We'll be able to give you more information. We'll be able to let you know when the programs are going to start, and then go from there. Next slide. This is just a quick slide on where we have all of our emerging talent programs. We are all the way in Shreveport, Mississippi. We're moving into Alabama. So these are just areas that we actually have programs going on. So if you want to take a little snippet of that so you can see if these programs are offered in your area, that's perfectly fine. Next slide. We also have some more pathways that we're trying to build out, such as the EMR to EMT, tech paramedic program, a healthcare facilities apprenticeship, and a radiology tech assistant program. Next slide. I believe this might be the last one. Yes. So if you are interested, you want more information, our website information is listed. And basically on that website, it's going to do like another overview of all of our adult learning programs that we have. And if you want information about our pre-apprenticeship program, the nursing program, then feel free to email me at that preapprentice@oshner.org email, and I would be happy to answer any questions you may have. So do we have any questions?
We do. We do have a few questions. For the sake of time, I will definitely do one. So they are asking, are you mainly seeking high school students for these programs? And yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so for the nursing pre-apprenticeship program, that program is specifically for high school students. We start 10th grade and we will track you all the way until you graduate. Once you graduate, and let's just say that you get accepted into our paid apprenticeship program, that goes to our other consultants who handles the adult programs. So if you're interested, let's just say you're already graduated from high school, you're in college or whatever, and you want to become a CNA or a radiology tech, and you want to get more information, then that would be more on our adult side. So 18 and older. The high school pre-apprenticeship would be like 16 to 18.
Okay. All right. And so this event is going so well, and we may go over our time. I know I posted in the chat. So if you can give us just a few more minutes, we do have two more presentations, one for electrical and then another for heavy truck driving. So if you can just give us a few more minutes, Miss Odom, I appreciate you coming back again. Um, we do have some questions. There is a question for you specifically in the chat on what is a community health worker. If you can just drop that information in the chat. But again, we appreciate you. Oxnard is one of our partners with LASPA. And so we attend a lot of their events, and they come and attend our events and participate. So again, we appreciate you and everything you are doing for students here in Louisiana as well. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right. And so next up, we're going to have Mr. Bill Ball and Miss Audra Kellums come up. They are with Electrical Training Alliance. So hello, this is their first time here at our Apprenticeship Expo, and I'm very excited to have you all here. So welcome.
Thank you. You can go to the next slide. So yes, we're excited to be here. I am Audra Kellums. I'm an outreach specialist for the Electrical Training Alliance, and as it was mentioned, our director, Bill Ball, is on here, and he may jump in and answer, provide information, but I think he will also be monitoring the chat and the Q&A, so he can be answering any questions as we go along. But we're here representing the Electrical Training Alliance. That organization is all about apprenticeship. Our supporting organizations are the IBEW, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, and NECA, the National Contractors Association. And so our curriculum, as you can see there, is called the Interim Credentials. The Interim Credentials is if you are joining the electrical apprenticeship, you will see on the right-hand side, those are 5 courses: Constructing Your Future, Electrical Job Information, Applied Codology, Electrical Theory, 1, Direct Current, and Construction Drawings. Those are the 5 courses that you would take in the first year of apprenticeship. What we have done is taken this curriculum, taken those courses, and put them in one curriculum called the Interim Credentials, which is perfect for a high school student to take during their junior or senior year, or a combination thereof. We also offer it for post-secondary. It's not limited to high school students, but it is that direct way for a student to get that first year of curriculum under their belt. So you can kind of see on the right how the courses are broken down by lessons. So for example, Constructing Your Future is lessons 1 through 7. At the end of every lesson, students will take an assessment, and that is, they have to work through the lessons in order. They have to score 75% on every knowledge check or every quiz to unlock the next lesson. And then as they complete each module, they take that module assessment and they get a topic certificate for that module. Once they complete all five lessons and they take that final assessment, the 50th lesson is the final assessment, they get the interim credential, and that's the credential that they would want to take to present to the JATC. Our curriculum is fully web-based. It's totally online. As students take an assessment, they receive feedback on if they didn't earn that 75% unlock the next lesson, they receive feedback on what they need to go back and review. And we really encourage students to give their best effort on each assessment, because what goes into that to the grade book is an average of their assessments. So let's just use an example of a student takes the first assessment and they score 65%. They have to go back into the lesson. They take it again. They score 70. They have to go back because you've got to get that 75% to unlock the curriculum or the course lesson to move forward. And so it took them 3 attempts, but what went in their grade book is an average of a 70. Students have to complete the course with a 75% or better in order to receive the interim credential. So the curriculum, as it says, it's totally web-based. Anytime we get a student and a school involved, we automatically try to partner them with a joint apprentice training center, a JATC partnership. That partnership, there are 270 JATCs across the United States. So that's one of the things that makes this program so unique from others. A student can complete this during their senior year of high school and really go to anywhere in the United States. Any of the 270 JATCs will recognize this credential. So it does provide that direct pathway to the training center and into the electrical field to give them that first year of content under their belt so that they would have advanced academic placement. They would start that once they apply to the apprenticeship, they get in, they would have that first year of content under their belt. You can go to the next slide. So you can see there the cost is $375 per student. That is broken up into $198.45 to the Electrical Training Alliance for the license, and then $132.30 to ProTech Skills Institute for our time token. With that purchase, students have access to the content for 2 years. So high school students, we typically see junior or senior year level students participating or are taking this course, so that once they graduate, they've got that direct pathway into the apprenticeship. On average, that takes 120 to 150 hours to complete. That is a very general average. It totally depends. We pretty much have every scenario. We have the individual student that signed up. They're taking this asynchronously. The course is asynchronous. It's designed for students to work through it at their own level. All textbooks and resources are built directly into the course. And so we have that scenario to a school that may have a classroom of 20 where they're facilitating and providing some direct instruction and some hands-on. That's another great benefit of creating that JATC partnership, because we also have schools that participate, and then they also attend at the training center for that hands-on component. If the school doesn't have a laboratory space or anywhere, any kind of classroom labs where they can create that hands-on experience for students, that's not a requirement. Like I said, our program is totally online and web-based, asynchronous for students, which is why it is great. It provides that flexibility for students and teachers. Students can complete it at their own pace and at their own time. It does not require a teacher with that electrical content knowledge in many of our schools. We have students that are just supported by a counselor or a teacher in a trades with a trades background. And that's because of the resources and how the course is structured to provide that all the content that students would need built into the course. Next slide. So one of the biggest benefits, like I mentioned, is that it is that direct pathway into the electrical industry. Once students complete the 5 courses and they take that final assessment and they get their interim credential that they present to any of our training centers across the U.S. It provides that flexibility for students and teachers. We have programs that run after school, that run during the school day. We have students working totally independently. At the end of the day, we're hoping this provides a more qualified applicant. Students go into the electrical field to get that license, and they have a great understanding of what that job is all about. So not only does it create a more qualified applicant for the training center, but it helps the student know at an earlier age if this is what they want their career path to be. Next slide. These next couple of slides, I'm really just going to kind of highlight constructing your future. This is the first course. This basically just shows, gives participants an overview of what the construction trade apprenticeship program is all about. The skills, the interest, the mindset that best serve an apprenticeship, the safety hazards that could occur on a course and how to mitigate those, and just overall what it takes to be successful in any type of trade and to succeed in an apprenticeship. Next slide. Electrical job information. One second. This gets into more of the basic foundation of the electrical trade. You're going to get into some tool identification and just the basic fundamentals a little bit, and it concludes with fire stopping and sizing building wire. Next slide. Applied codology. This course will help students learn how to navigate the 2023 NEC code through repetition and thorough understanding of the plan, build, use concepts. They will gain confidence in using the 2023 NEC code. Next slide. Electrical theory 1, DC, the direct current. This is where the rubber meets the road. Students are going to get into a lot of, you can see, I'm not going to read those, all the different topics to you, but this is where the content gets heavier and students are learning that a lot about the direct current. Next slide. And then because all construction projects are defined to a high degree of accuracy long before they begin, the ability to read and accurately interpret blueprints is one of the key skills for an electrical worker. Students in this will learn how to read 2- and 3-dimensional drawings, 360-degree images, and so it will provide them the skills that they need to use and interpret each of these types of construction drawings. Next slide. This is just our website. This is a great resource for anyone who wants additional information. If you, at the top on the right, you can actually go in and you can preview each of those courses to get a little bit better understanding of what each course includes. Under our resources tab, there are lots of valuable resources for schools and teachers on how to enroll, how to get the account started, what the course syllabus looks like. And so that would be a great place to start for someone that is interested in learning more. Our email, if you was posted on the very first slide, you can definitely reach out to Bill or I, and we can provide additional information. And that's all I have. And Bill, you have anything to add, or were there any questions or anything in the chat?
No, just we're excited about this program. 60,000 apprentices. We've been training electrical apprentices since the 1800s. So lots of experience out there. So this is a good feather in the hat for them when they apply at any of our 270 training centers. So get a hold of us. We'll answer any questions. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us this year. I really appreciate it. Really good information. There were some questions in the Q&A, and I think Mr. Bill covered them. And there were a few in the chat. Basically, I will provide the Electrical Training Center's email and website on the reference resource document. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we have Ms. Tamika Willis with TDS Trucking and Trucking Training and Technology. And we're going to go ahead and give her the floor so that we can go ahead and wrap this wonderful event up. Go ahead, Ms. Willis.
Good morning. So excited to be here. Thanks to all the speakers that was on a panel. Again, my name is Tamika Willis. I'm the owner of TDS Trucking Training and Technology and the Edward and Ruth Brooks Senior Foundation. Next slide, please. What we do here at TDS Trucking Training and Technology, we're dedicated to combating crime and poverty by equipping individuals in undeserved communities through pre-apprenticeships and paid apprenticeship programs. Next slide. So who we serve are individuals located in undeserved communities, justice involved, formerly incarcerated, individuals with disability, veterans, women looking to get into the trucking and construction industry, youth 16 through 24, and one we don't have on there is youth exiting foster care. With this program, next slide, please. With this program, what we do is we gather these individuals from different demographic areas. They contact us if they want to be within this program to gain this, industry certification, the training that they need. They do enrollment form. We have the initial interview. Once we actually get them through the program, they get into what is called a paid orientation program process that they would go through. Next slide, please. So as you heard a lot of panelists speak about the pre-apprenticeship program, that's getting them ready to enter into the actual apprenticeship program with the classroom and the paid on-the-job training. Next slide, please. So with the classroom training as well as the on-the-job training, they would get an opportunity to get their Class A license, their forklift certification, their supply chain management, the OSHA 10 general study. So for the ones that want to be within the heavy truck driver, they get their Class A license. And we've also, which I didn't include into the slide, we've found a way to integrate hydrogen. I come from 9 years in a chemical background, so very familiar with the different ozone, tail gas, those different things, as well as the dock worker. So for the individuals that don't want to just do the truck driving, they can get into our dock worker apprenticeship program that would give them the opportunity to work within logistics, warehousing, and different things like that. So with that, they would have a choice to choose between heavy truck driver and dock operator. Next. And so within this program, they would get mentorship opportunities. I know the age is 16 through 24, but through our Youth Build program, we're looking to start them as early as 14, get into the high schools to, kind of get them familiar with the process of getting into the industry and trucking, the warehouse, various industries like that. And as the world evolves into the Clean Fuel Initiative, technology, that's what TDS is priding themselves in, becoming subject matter experts to be able to give them a variety of these different opportunities, especially with individuals located in high crime rate areas, different things, just to give them a sense of, meaning, purpose. And so that's really what we are trying to accomplish with this program. Next slide, please. Kept it very short, very simple. These are our partners, the Reimagine Women's Business Center, the Manhattan Strategy Group, some of our employer partners that are not listed on here. But every day we are growing. We're working with different agencies to be able to bring opportunities to these individuals located in these undeserved communities, just to get, just to offer that solution to a lot of them that's looking for a change. So I just wanted to kind of keep it short to where we'd be able to get it. But any questions, any, comments, anything like that, be sure to reach out to me. I know Tanya has put a lot of our information out. Just to kind of speak on our partnership with the National Education Foundation, Dr. Apuku Tan has given $48 million to Louisiana to give students access to over 7,000 soft skill curriculums. So in addition to apprenticeship opportunities, we have them to where they can actually be able to access soft skill curriculums and get not just graduate with their diploma, but industry certifications as well in the different industries. So very proud to be here. Thank you guys for all the information. If anybody wants to reach out as far as with the trucking or the dock worker, feel free to do so. Just always an honor to be able to help my community and make a great impact when it comes down to industry certifications and job training. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Willis. Thank you so very much for attending. So we did have 2 additional employers who were not able to attend. However, I did not want to not share the information. So Union Pacific Railroad also has apprenticeship opportunities. We will include this in the resource document on how to go to their website, create your profile, and look at those career opportunities. We also, and I won't read all of this, I'll include that in the document as well. But we also have Dow. Dow is one of our partners, and they presented on last year, and they were not able to attend because of another event that was pending today. So I will also provide that information to you all as well in the resource, along with those videos. They sent some really nice videos as well. So that is pretty much the end of our event. I want to thank everyone who presented, all of our employers. At this time, I'm going to ask our co-directors of CASC, as well as our director of student engagement, if they want to give a few closing remarks really quickly. Shane?
Oh, sure, absolutely. So good morning, everybody. I am Shane Grappel. I'm the Director of Collegiate and Community Outreach here at LOSVA. I really wanted to thank our panelists and our presenters for this year's Apprenticeship Expo. I really appreciate you sharing these opportunities and this information with the attendees. For the attendees, thank you so much for participating in this. Please be sure to complete the survey that is going to be made available, particularly the area about what other kind of resources and programs that you would like to see. We really pride ourselves on being responsive to the needs of those that we serve in the state of Louisiana. And so we want to make sure that we're offering programs and resources where there's a need or there is an interest. Also, if you'd like to learn more about LOSVA's resources, services, and programs, please be sure to visit our website at mylosva.la.gov. You'll find information about our scholarships, our programs, our comprehensive advising services that we offer, and any other kinds of assistance that we can help with determining what your college pathway needs to be like, what other post-secondary pathways may exist for you in order to earn the credential that you need, get the experience, and be matched with the career that's really going to help you accomplish your goals that you have. So thanks again, everybody, for joining us, for participating, for providing the information, and I'll turn it back over to you, Tanya.
All right, Ebony, you have any words?
No words, just want to echo Shane's sentiment. Great program and lots of interest out there. So thank you to all of our panelists for joining us and all attendees. And it's great to see you, Miss Tamika.
Miss Livonia?
Hi, Miss Ebony. Great to see you as well. Sorry.
Yes, okay. Miss Livonia? Uh-oh, we can't hear you. Uh-oh, we're having some sound issues.
Great job. Congratulations. Looking forward to working with many of you all as students. Get this information, make use of it.
Right, thank you very much. All right, and so that does conclude our presentation. I just want to thank all of our employers here. Here are a few ways for you to connect with us here at LOSVA. We are on Facebook, on X. You can go to YouTube, as well as Instagram. And here's some additional ways to connect with LOSVA. On our website, we have Ask Lex. We are also on the web. On our website, you can reach out to us through our customer service email, custserve@la.gov, as well as Go FAFSA. If you have any FAFSA questions, you can go to the Go FAFSA@la.gov. We do offer virtual office hours for those who have questions. We do those office hours from 9 to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. And with that, I want to say thank you for attending, and I hope that everyone received some very good information. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly. You will receive a survey, so it will pop up as soon as you click off. So please complete that and reach out to me, and I will be sending the resource document to everyone after the event. All right, thank you, and you guys have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Tanya. If we could answer for those who want to linger around, who may have dropped a question
Yes.
in the question box, if we want to go ahead and answer those for anybody who wants to stick around for those responses. Yes, for that last question, we will be sending the information, the recording, as well as all the information provided to everyone who registered for the Apprenticeship Expo, not just those who attended. So everyone will have access to the information.